most people, when it comes down to the reason why we get stuck, is because everybody says they want time freedom. Everybody says they want financial freedom. Everybody says they want to be able to do all of these things that require hard work. Where's the hard work? Where's the suffering? Where's the pain? Like where, when you work out, does it feel good after? Mentally, you feel good. But physically, how does your body feel? Fuck, beat up. You feel like, damn, I need an Epsom salt bath. I need to sleep. I need an ice bath. Like, there's so many things, right? So it's like you see how your physical is fatigued, but mentally we sit here and it's like, boom, we feel good. God damn. Got my whole leg. Refund. I'm cutting my whole leg. All right. So we feel drained. We don't feel energized. Okay. So you don't feel energized, but then what happens if you go and lift heavy things at the gym for 6 months in a row? You're probably going to see a result. As Mike Miles likes to say, lift everything. Go lift everything. So you really have to sit there and ask yourself that question. Is it the fact that you need more time? Or is it the fact that you're not actually as efficient with your time as you think you are? Because I think it's the second one. I think we're all not as efficient with our time as we like to tell ourselves. But the thing is, some of you like to create this delusion that you're doing more than you are because you do the basics, you do the bare minimum. It's like, think about it. It's like, how many of you have hobbies? All of you have hobbies, but it's like your hobbies don't pay you anything. None of you guys get paid to go play video games. None of you guys get paid to go motherfucking play cards or go bowling, right? So why do you guys treat trading like a hobby? You don't treat it like a profession. If you trading like a profession, it's like the trading plan. It's like if you didn't follow that, that would be like you like getting fired type shit. Like you would get fired. Like you have to look at it and discipline yourself like it's a job. At a job, you can't just do stupid shit and not expect to get fired. So why do we do stupid things with our trading and expect a different result? We have to make it make sense for ourselves. Because how we do one thing is how we do everything. It's like I had this conversation with people. It's like I see people that like to skip over the little details. And to me, I would rather not do anything at all than to sit there and just half-ass something. Because how you do one thing is how you do everything. So if you sit there and you can't be consistent to something you told yourself, right? Let me see some more cameras too. Where you guys at, family? Because I'm gonna talk to you guys a little bit and I'm gonna go over some fundamentals that are gonna help you guys. But this is the shit that's gonna make you more money than motherfucking technical analysis. Trading is easy. It's a fucking game. It's easy. Play a game long enough, you're gonna get good at it. The reason why most people don't make money is because they're greedy. The reason why most people don't make money is because they don't actually have a plan. Like, how many of you guys over leveraged within the last 7 days? Drop a 1 in the chat if you over leverage on your trading account. Maybe not by a lot, but if you just over leverage, if you had a specific account or a specific risk that you were supposed to follow. Now over leverage, over traded. Okay. To me, I find that to be the same shit because it just adds up. It just adds up. It's like you might as well just risk it. You see what I'm saying? So to me, I look at that as it falls into the same category, but a lot of people drop the 1, right? Drop a 2 now, maybe if you didn't over leverage, but you didn't follow something else on your trading plan. Maybe it was taking profit. Maybe it was where you actually are supposed to be getting into the markets. Like, we are all guilty of this. But think about it. It's like, can you continuously make mistakes at your 9 to 5? Like, let's say you work at a doctor's office, right? If you constantly mess up people's appointments, don't you think the doctors are going to fire you? Because that's messing up their business. The same way if you work at maybe like a burger shop, like if you're sitting there and you're not flipping patties when the customers come in and they're hungry, they want burgers, do you think you're going to be there very long? Probably not. So this is what we have to put into perspective for trading. It's like, this is the reality you have to have with yourself, okay? You are somebody who isn't like, think about this, right? So how many of you guys have told yourself that you need to be more disciplined? Or maybe that you should change something and be better? Like, how many of you guys have come to some realization that something needs to shift, but then you didn't do what you told yourself you should have? Like, how many of you guys are like, damn, I should stop doing this, but then the next day you're doing it? You have to identify that we as humans, we just tend to lie about stupid shit. So what you have to do is identify, okay, am I really as disciplined as I think I am? Because when I sit here and I really think like, am I actually as disciplined? I'm like, I'm disciplined, more disciplined than most people, but I'm still not even very disciplined, and I'm still able to obtain a crazy result, which just proves how little people actually try. People don't try. People just fucking make it seem like they try. People don't have no motion. There's very few people that really have motion. You can tell who has motion by who can duplicate. Because if you have motion, you can sit here and you can teach other people how to do exactly what you did. Because to me, the people that make the most money help the most people. So think about how many people, okay, how many of you guys want to take care of your family, right? I want you guys to imagine, right? Drop a 333 if your goal is to retire your mom, your dad, your auntie, your uncle, your grandma. Like, drop a 3 if somebody in your family. Like, I want you guys to imagine that person right now. I want you guys to visualize that person. And it's like, how many of you ever told these people maybe one day that you're gonna give them everything? You're gonna give them the life they deserve. You're gonna give them all these things. Like, have any of you ever told your family that? Like, yo, mom, I'm gonna give you this. Yo, mom, I'm gonna give you that. Drop in chat. Have you guys drop a yes or no? Have you guys ever told your family that? Have you guys ever made little promises like that? I need to see if you guys are so far with me. Like I said, I can't see you. I can only see 3 of you. So to me, I don't think anyone's paying attention to who has their camera on. Nah, not yet. Yeah. No. Yeah. Okay. So for everyone that said yeah, right? I want you to think about it like this, right? How would that person feel knowing that fast forward 5 years, your poor habits haven't changed, you're still doing the same shit, and boom. Now you got to just go back to the regular life you're living before you tried to become an investor. And then now you have to go back to that person and tell them, hey, mom, by the way, remember I told you I was going to take care of you? Yeah, I can't do that no more. I got to go clock in. So, remember I told you I was good? The help? Yeah, can't do that no more. Like, think about that, right? Think about you going to them and telling them that you can't give them everything that you promised them. Your son, your brother, your aunt. Like, I want you to think it doesn't matter who it is, right? Because every time you don't follow your trading plan, you're creating that reality for yourself. You're just you're one blown account away from experiencing that reality. Every time you don't follow your trading plan, that's what happened. You know why you can't follow your trading plans? Because you're impatient. You're impatient. You want money tomorrow. You want money yesterday. You're like, damn, I've been broken in debt for so long. I need money yesterday. I was talking to a couple people on my team and they were just telling me about debt. And I'm like, debt? I'm like, when you get old, like debt is just something that like, I don't know what it is about old people in debt. It's like, you know, my mom be stressed about that. My grandma be stressed about it. I'm like, what is wrong with you guys? Like, you know, like to me, it's not that they're old, but it's just like the older mentality of people that didn't grow up in the social media community or computer era. They can't comprehend making money other than slaving away for 40 hours. They it just can't process in their head. Okay. So what we have to do is be patient because there's no competition. You guys are trying to compete with motherfuckers on Instagram. Every time you go on Instagram, you see a motherfucker flexing. And you're on Instagram, you don't even get paid from Instagram. It's like, what are you doing on Instagram? It's like, this is something I want you guys to ask yourself. How many IPAs do you do every single day, right? Income producing activities. An income producing activity would be an example of exposing your business to somebody. An income producing activity would be studying information, you know, on the charts, studying information on something that you're looking to master. Okay. That's what it looks like. But how many of us take the time out of, like, if we just took the time to not think about negative shit, you know how much better you would feel every day? You know how much more motivated you would feel? Some of you guys procrastinate because all you think about is negative shit. You think about the debt. You think about all of the expectations that people around you have. You think about all the negativity. You think about all the bad. Us as humans, listen, we're programmed to be literally negative balls. 80 to 85% of our thoughts are negative. 90 to 95% of them are repetitive. So you mean to tell me, right? None of you have the life that you want, but then you can't sit here and comprehend that you're angry, or you're sad, or you're just living in some type of lack in one way or another. Like one form or another, you are living in a state of lack, right? And it's just not even really close. Because if you weren't, you wouldn't be acting and moving the way that you are. Like, think about it. Why are you not disciplined to your trading plan? It's because you want money. But how many of you guys actually know what money is? Money isn't anything. Fiat currency is actually useless, right? So understanding fiat currency is actually useless. Why is it that so many people are sitting here and obsessing about something that literally has absolutely no value whatsoever? And that's really what we have to sit here and we have to think about, right? We have to think about, what are we doing? You can think about debt. You can think about going to your job that you hate. You can think about just all of this shit. But it's like, I was listening to something today by Jordan Peterson. And basically what he was talking about was this person, right? Listened to one of his audios, and basically he came up to him and was like, look, I hate my job. He's like, I hated it. I hated, like, I couldn't stand it, right? So a lot of you could probably relate. You probably don't like your job. You're probably not too fond of your boss. The job might not even be bad, but the people might fucking ruin it for you. So it's like, there's some type of something that for most people causes them to dislike something about going to work. It might not be the job. It might not be the people, but it might be, motherfucker, how long it takes to get to work. It might be how long it takes to get back. Like, there's going to be something that typically is going to trigger some type of emotion, right? That's going to cause us to despise and resent. So think about it from this perspective, right? Are you the type of individual that's sitting here and when you build resentment, right, towards how you act, like it fuels a different fire internally for yourself? Because what he ended up saying was literally, I listened to one of your videos, I took your advice, and I just went to my job and I tried to be 1% better every day. He's like, in the last 6 months, I got 3 different promotions. He's like, I love this shit now. I'm making way more money, right? And all he did was he came to work and put in his 100%. How you do one thing is how you do everything. If you don't put in your 100% at your job, you don't put in 100% to trading. I can tell. We are who we are most of the time. Not some of the time. Some of the time, you guys hop on Instagram and you're talking your shit and you're saying, boo, boo, boo. But then behind closed doors, you're sitting there and you're crying. You're sitting there stressing about all the shit that you tell people not to stress about. Can you imagine that? Most of you, what you tell all your friends is exactly why none of your friends want to come and get involved with anything that you're doing. They don't want to get involved because they can feel your energy. Motherfucker, you're worried about the same shit they're worried about. So why are they going to come to you when they're just as good, when they're literally in the same position as you? It's like the blind leading the blind. Because look, this is the first thing that we need to do in terms of trading. Right? I want you guys to understand this, right? The first step to really being able to make money in trading is not necessarily going to even be anything technical. It's going to be, well, it's going to be technical, but for the most part, you guys just look, this right here is going to save you so much fucking money. And I'm telling you, I'm going to know who listens in the next 30 days based off of just the results that people are getting. Okay. So everybody, please, please, please write this down. If you're going to take anything away from this entire call, write this down. Okay. Leverage what you have until what you have is good enough to leverage. Leverage what you have. Leverage. So I'm talking leverage the educator. Stop trying to run calls on your, like, if you haven't withdrew 100K out of the markets, why are you running a call teaching people how to make money out of the markets? Like, you're stupid. If you haven't made 10K, why are you teaching people how to run calls? Like, people are dumb. People run calls when they're literally in no position to be running any type of call. Why are you running a fucking trading call when you blow your account every week? Is that a smart call or is that a dumb call? That is a dumb call. Leverage what you have until what you have is good enough to leverage. If what you have is not good enough to leverage, why are you trying to share it with other people? Because what you cause is infection. You cause a disease. So you sit here and you brainwash other people into thinking doing the wrong shit is the right shit. Just because you want a little sense of power, you go on a little ego trip. It's like leverage what you have. Okay. So step one, right? Step one is find 1 to 3 educators and literally only listen to them. That's step one. Okay. So I feel like most people sit here and they try and listen to 10 motherfuckers that trade differently. It's like, listen to a bunch of educators when you first come in, cool. But after your first week, you should be listening to literally at most like 3, 4, like maybe 5 at most. But 1 to 3 is a good starting point, because what you're gonna start to realize is when you put 5%, 5%, 5%, 5%, 5% of energy into learning 10 different styles, it's like Bruce Lee says it. He doesn't fear the man who practices 10 different strikes one time. He fears the man who practices one strike 10,000 times. It's mastery. Why are you guys going to keep studying different things every day and expect to progress? That's why some of you have been here for like 3 years and you guys are still fucking like lost. And it's like, it's not even your fault. You're just in a paradox of learning. And it's like, you have to just snap out of it. And that's why I say it's making the little changes. It's following your plan. It's like following your plan and just being disciplined is the opposite of what you've been doing right now. So just you making those little mental adjustments is literally going to make the difference between you being profitable versus you not being profitable, which is fucking crazy. Some of you are so close, but you're so impatient that you can't. Sometimes you're not okay with not making any money. Sometimes you're not okay with not pressing a button because you feel like you're missing out on something. When you feel like you're missing out on something, you're living in a state of lack. Okay? So find 1 to 3 educators and master them, right? Number 2, follow a plan or don't trade. To me, I don't know, like motherfuckers like to beat around the bush, right? Follow a plan or don't trade. Proper preparation prepares for perfect performance. If you guys are not prepared for what is to come in the markets, don't fucking trade. Have you guys ever seen an NBA team or maybe a professional sports team that didn't practice before a game and they got obliterated? It's because they didn't follow a plan. If they had a plan, they would have practiced. Think about it. How many of you guys have gone on vacation before and there was no plan? It was just, you just went. Anybody? Because if you have, what you typically find is like, damn, it's a little bit more lazy. It's a little bit more chillax. Like people are just flowing. It's like, oh, cool. You want to go do this? You want to go do that? Right? But when you go on a trip and there's an itinerary and you have things planned, it's like, now it's like, damn, you have a whole schedule. You can be more productive with a schedule, right? So that's number 3. Follow a damn schedule. So just like you guys don't follow your trading plan, most of you have a schedule, but you don't follow it. Okay. So how do we get better at following a schedule? You make a simplistic schedule. It doesn't need to be intricate. To me, what you can start off with making a schedule is morning, afternoon, night, and create the hours. That is how my first schedule started. What do I need to get done in the morning? What do I need to get done in the afternoon? And what do I need to get done at night? And when do I stop? If you're broke, there shouldn't be stop. Like, why? Well, if you're not in the financial position that you want to be in, and I feel like none of us are, right? So when I say broke, like I said, broke is a mentality. Broke is not how much you have in your bank account. You can have $100,000 in your bank account, be broke mentally, right? So broke is a mentality because you attract what you are. So think about it. If money doesn't flow into your life abundantly, you don't think in an abundant mindset. You don't think, you don't think that you're worthy of the money. Don't you think if you were worthy, the money would attract you? Like, do any of you guys believe in law of attraction? You guys believe that things are attracted to you? Because it's just very crucial to be able to attract everything you want. You can attract everything you want. If you want to attract a relationship, if you want to attract a person, if you want to attract a thing, if you want to attract an outcome, you get what you desire most of the time. And think about it. The sad reality is you are where you are because you thought yourself there. So if you don't like where you are, you don't like what you think. And what you have to do is you just have to get fed up with thinking the way that you think. Right? Because once you do these three things, what you're going to find, right, is you have more time. Right? But one thing I feel, drop a 222 if you guys procrastinate a little bit. Is procrastination something that you guys struggle with at all? Okay. So I want to read a page of this book to you guys, right? And I feel like it'll really apply. So I want you guys to try and follow along, try and take some notes if you guys can. But basically, the issue about most people and why we procrastinate is because we're constantly thinking about we're living in anticipation when we procrastinate. So we sit here and we think about 20 different things that we know we could be doing, and instead of just picking one, focusing on it, doing it, getting it done, we just end up wasting all this time thinking. Okay, so mind strategies for avoiding the now. Okay, so the loss of now. This is the core delusion that most people have, right? The loss of now. Right? So I'm gonna read. Even if I completely accept that ultimately time is an illusion, what difference is that going to make in my life? I still have to live in a world that is completely dominated by time. Can we agree with that statement? Would you guys say that we live in a world that's dominated by time? Because think about it. Can you guys just go to work whenever you want? Like when the market closes on Friday, can you just open it, right? Okay. So intellectual agreement is just another belief and won't make much difference to your life. To realize this truth, you need to live it. When every cell of your body is so present that it feels vibrant with life, and when you can feel that life every moment as the joy of being, then it can be said that you are free of time. So everybody says they want more time, but time is an illusion, right? To live in the present, time doesn't exist. Time is a social construct that just keeps us sane. Okay? So the next sentence or the next paragraph goes, but I still have to pay my bills tomorrow. And I'm still going to grow old and die just like everybody else. So how can I say that I'm free of time? It's like most of us would agree with that, right? But most of you guys agree that you have to pay your bills. Like, do any of you guys have bills due soon? Do any of you guys have any type of financial responsibilities coming up? Right? Because tomorrow's bills are not the problem. The dissolution of the physical body is not the problem. Loss of now is the problem. Or rather, the core delusion that turns a mere situation, event, or emotion into a personal problem or suffering. So this is what we do to ourselves. We create delusions in our head that turn a situation, an emotion, a moment, an event that happens to us into suffering. So what loss of now is loss of being. So if you can't focus on now, that means you can't focus on life. You can't even live. Because what that means is you're living in a depressed and anxious life all the time because you're never focused on the now. You're always focused on what's to come. You're always like, how can you enjoy shit when you're always anticipating what's next? It's always what's next, what's next, what's next. And what you're going to realize when you become very rich is you'll have no fulfillment. Because you're just going to be looking for the next thing. Because you should be fulfilled right now. You guys understand how that works? Wealth doesn't just fall into our lap. We attract it. You attract everything you guys are. I'm sure some of you guys were bad kids when you were younger. You probably attracted a bad crowd. Once you switch up your crowd, you probably realize your friends went from living in the projects to the suburbs. Okay? So to be free of time is to be free of the psychological need of past for your identity and future for your fulfillment. So I'm going to say that one. I'm read that again, because this is probably going to be the biggest takeaway that you guys need to take with it, right? So to be free of time is to be free of the psychological need of past for your identity and future for your fulfillment. So if you don't understand what that means, to be free of anything that isn't the present, you need to let go of what's already happened to you. Who cares what the fuck happened last week? Who cares what happened yesterday? Who cares what you did motherfucking 10 minutes ago? It does not matter anymore. Because that identity, when you keep looking backwards at who you were yesterday, how can you expect to grow into the person that you want to be tomorrow? You are never going to grow. You're literally going to keep looking backwards, thinking about all the times you fucked up, and then attracting that into your future. You guys see why it's a continuous cycle? You guys see why you've been stuck in the situations that you've been in for years? Months? Weeks? So your future for fulfillment, like that's probably the like just as detrimental, because a lot of you look to the past to shape your future identity, but then you sit here and you look to the future and you think, once I make $1 million, I'm gonna be happy. Once I make $1 million, I'm gonna be successful. Once, like, no, motherfucker, like, you're successful the moment you tell yourself that you're fucking successful. And if you tell yourself you're successful, you attract what? If you tell yourself you're successful every day, family, what would you attract? Nothing. You'll attract nothing. You know what you have to do to attract success? You have to fucking act upon the things that you know that you should be doing, because internally, you're just going to get signals sent to your body of, hey, I should follow my trading plan. And every time you don't follow your trading plan, that is you telling yourself that you do not want to be successful. We just got to be real with ourselves. Like I said, it's like, as much as like, I'm sitting here, I'm talking to you, like I'm talking to myself the same way that's how I talk to myself. I'm very blunt. Like, you can literally ask the people, like, I have 1-2 people that I'll sit there and I'll be like, damn, I fucked up this. And like, I'm hard on myself, because if I'm not hard on myself, I'm gonna keep doing the same fucking stupid things that cause me to experience an emotion that I don't want to feel. I don't want to feel like I'm a fucking idiot because I over leverage and blow my account. I don't know about you guys, but I do not want to experience that for myself. So do you guys understand where I'm coming from? I avoid doing certain things to avoid experiencing certain things, because I know if I over leverage, there is a high possibility that I could blow my account. Of course, there's a possibility I could flip my account. But there's things that I've done and I've experienced multiple times, the same way that you guys have too. Okay. So to have more time is to simply be in present. So that's what these 3 things will help you do. The more that you're aligned with the present, the more that you're aligned with the thoughts that you have right now. If all you're thinking about every single day is the fact that you're attracting multiple streams of income and increasing quantities every single day in your life, if you say that statement word for word, you're going to be fucking rich. If you say that, if you sit here and consciously think about that, remember I said 80 to 85% of our thoughts are negative, 90 to 95% of them are repetitive. So if we sit here and we consciously think these thoughts for the next 30 days, you are going to get whatever you think about. So what I want everybody to do right now, drop in the chat, right? Drop in the chat if you're willing to do this, right? Drop a 777, and don't drop a 777 to that top, right? If you're willing, if You guys are just fast. You guys are fast, right? So when it comes down to this, right? I want you to drop a 7 if you are willing to write a goal down right now on a piece of paper that is realistic, that you believe you can do and get accomplished in the next 30 days. And I want you to literally, anytime you can, I want you to have that in front of you and I want you to be reading it. That's all I want you to do. I want you to read, like, your goal should be to read that statement 1,000 times a day. You have 70,000 thoughts, like 40 to 70,000 thoughts on average as a human being every single day. Imagine just taking the time to think 1,000, to say that 1,000 times. The way that you're going to feel throughout the day is going to be so much better. Okay, look, everyone that actually does this, tomorrow, tell me how you feel after just thinking about that. Like, tell me how you feel throughout the whole day, because there's going to be times where you sit there and you revert back to the old you and you're like, damn, like, fuck, I feel kind of nervous. You know, I feel anxiety. But then you're just going to sit there and then you're going to be like, damn, okay, my card, let me read it. And like, have you guys ever like sat there and been in a slump and been sad, but then you read your goal card? Or you sit there and you look at your wall and you look at all the dream cars that you want. You're like, damn, okay, I can't worry about it because the Urus. I need to get the Urus. I need to get the wagon. I need to take care of this, right? It's like, don't wish life was easier. Wish you were better, right? Word to my boy Jim Rohn. It's like, don't wish things were easier. Wish you were better. Wish you were better at life. Wish you were better at trading. Wish you were better at being disciplined. Wish you were better at working out. Don't wish that things were easier. Don't wish that people gave you more opportunities. You get every opportunity that you deserve. So if you don't have a lot of opportunity, you don't deserve shit. And if you don't deserve shit, you have to ask yourself, what value are you providing to the people of your community? Probably very little. So providing value to your community stems from reading books, educating. You can educate people, right? Impacting other people is being disciplined enough to the point where you can be a profitable trader and you can teach other people how to trade. It's like, it's crazy. Like I've had students that have like DM me and the testimonials are insane. Like 18-year-old kids doing great. Like I'm talking 6 figures at 18. So it's like, if they can do it, you can do it. You just have to be disciplined. I find the younger you are, the more disciplined you are. The older you get, the more in your ways you get. I feel like the older you get, the less optimistic you are. You just come to the realization that, this is just going to happen. Like, older people have no sense of like, put in your faith in everything, because they don't put their faith in so many things for like the last 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years that they're like, I've lost faith in all of humanity. It's weird. I can follow a trading plan, workout plan, but still follow. Okay, so then what I want to ask you is there anything in your workout plan, eating plan that you aren't following consistently that you know you should be following in that? So maybe you're working out, but maybe your macros, maybe you're not eating everything that you're supposed to. Maybe you have an extra cheat meal. Maybe like there's something. So see if there's anything in other aspects of your life like that maybe you're not following 100%. And it's just the realization of the little things. Because once you realize, like, damn, maybe I'm not doing that one little thing that I didn't even think was that important. But now that I think of it, instantly you're going to think of whatever your guilty conscience, you know, if you had any at all when it came down to that, you'd be like, damn, okay, maybe if I do this, and this, then I'll be able to do this, and this. So it's just being disciplined with what you said you could do, right? And this is where you have to become a better negotiator with yourself. Right? Negotiate with yourself. You have to sit here and you have to make agreements with yourself, right? You have to sit here and you have to be willing to compromise, right? It's like, all right, Kevin, if we go to the workout, if we go to the gym today, right? We know that this workout plan that we're following is detrimental if we do not eat correctly. But then we also know that this eating plan and this workout plan is detrimental if we don't sleep correctly. So now that there's multiple steps and there's multiple pieces that we need to be in alignment with, and like I said, it's just being able to negotiate, because maybe what you're doing right now, you're asking yourself of too much of what you're capable of at this point. Maybe you need to focus on this and focus on this. And then once you master those, then you start to implement the next thing when you're more efficient, right? Jordan Peterson talks about the Pareto distribution, right? How efficient people get more efficient over time, right? So If you put in 30 minutes, okay, look, if you put in 18 minutes to any activity for a year, I think it works out to some thousand hours, right? Something like that, right? Or I think it works out to like 50 some hours, right? You literally will be ahead of 95% of the people in the field, or in whatever you're putting the 18 minutes into. You'll be 95% ahead of everybody else in that field. So think about trading. If you put in 18 minutes a day to just being disciplined to your trading plan, you would be ahead of 95% of people, statistically. And already 95% of people are fucking not profitable. So it's like, imagine being part of the 95% of the 5% that is, not fucking up. So it's just, like I said, family, we just got to be more disciplined with ourselves. I think the accountability just stems from how serious you take yourself. Like I said, the more we ignore the little petty things, the more that we justify spending stupid money, not being around people that have the results that we want. Like, to me, if I were you guys, I would hit me up like every damn, like I would try and, this is what you guys gotta do. You guys gotta sit here, you guys just gotta be friends. Like, you gotta make friends, right? You have to understand, like, this shit is about like having genuine connection. So it's like, you guys know that teacher that maybe in school that you were like, you didn't have a problem with, but you weren't super cool with. It was just a teacher you never really talked to, and then one day you just maybe had a conversation. You're like, damn, this is one of my favorite teachers. Like, fuck with this teacher, or you fuck with this guy at work, right? The quiet guy, you never talked to that guy at work, and then boom, you talk to him one day, and it's like, damn, this guy's cool. It's like we've all experienced that at one point in our life. So what you have to do is you have to sit here and you just have to be vocal, right? It's like a lot of us have access to a lot of amazing resources and tools, right? Like, how many of you guys were on the live trading with Silva this morning, right? It's like, it's amazing, right? We were able to sit there and we were able to lose, right? And then get back. And that's really what it comes down to, right? Because the emotions and the demeanor never changed. It was the same energy, it was the same expressions, it was the same, okay, well, this area got clapped. This is the next area. Like, there's nothing else to do besides that. A lot of you beat yourself up over something that literally you cannot change. Once you execute a trade, the only thing that you can change is what you do the next time you execute and manage that position. You can't change the fact that you over leveraged and blew 50% of your account yesterday, but what you can do is ensuring that you don't do that tomorrow. Ask yourself how it feels when you blow your account. Ask yourself how it feels when you don't follow the plan. Ask yourself how it feels knowing that you can't give your family, your parents, the people that you love, everything that they need. It shouldn't eat you up and make you feel like shit. It should motivate you. Like, when my uncle died, that motivated me. When my brother got shot, that motivated me. Like, there's certain things that happen in your life, and it's like, it just motivates you. But it's perspective, because there's a million other people that went through the same thing that I just experienced, those two events. And some of them couldn't get over it. Some of them are probably still like depressed in bed right now. And there's no right or wrong, family. It's just, what type of life do you want to live? So if you guys really want to change, this is what we got to do today, fam. Right? I'm gonna wrap it up, because like I said, I felt like this was a conversation that needed to be had with just whoever was meant to be here. And really what I want to wrap things up with saying is, family, like, every single one of you are capable of a lot of success. Like, there's a reason why you're on my call. Like, to me, if you're on my call, I can virtually guarantee you're an underdog in one way or another in your life. You're a black sheep, you're an underdog. Your family doesn't fuck with you. Your friends don't fuck with you. Like, there's some type of people that really sit there and it's like, they might not hate on you, but they don't support you. They don't show love to you. Like, drop a 3. If any of you guys on this call right now are the black sheep of your family, you guys are the outcasts, you guys are the ones that people really look at sideways from where you grew up, maybe your hometown, like, how many of you guys could say that that's you? You guys are just different. All right? Because that's me. I'm different. And like I said, I feel like most of you guys are those people in your family. You're the people that are different. And what we have to understand is why we are the way that we are. So what book I really want to recommend to every single one of you is The Family by John Bradshaw. The Family by John Bradshaw. Any of you that have any type of trauma, resentment, anything, it is because of how you were raised. Until you realize that, you can't make the changes. How many of you guys realize the older that you get, the more that you turn into the people that you grew up around, like your family? Like, it's crazy to me because when I was like 8, 9, like I used to gamble, right? I used to play like little pro line and shit like that, like the little tickets. But now being an older person, like I used to see my grandparents, my uncles, everyone in my family used to gamble. And now it's like, damn, like I gamble like it's nothing. I used to see them drink like crazy. It's like when I was 18, 19, I used to drink like a truck. It's like there's certain things that we don't realize that we pick up habitually through programming. So it's about identifying that. If you guys really want to change your lives, the sooner you can get through that book, the sooner you're gonna like. As soon as you go through that book, I want you guys to message me because I guarantee you, like some of you guys will cry reading that book. Like I swear to God, like you'll really sit there and you'll just come to the realization, like you're just gonna get so much acceptance with why you are the way that you are, and you're gonna learn how to fix it. That's the crazy part. You're gonna learn how to fix it too. John Bradshaw, The Family.